Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Good morning, third grade. Happy Friday. You know what? Have you seen this book, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day? You know what? Sometimes we can be having a really bad day, but I will tell you this is one of my most favorite books because it reminds me that just because we have a terrible day doesn't mean that all of our days have to be terrible. So I want to share an idea with you, something that we were talking about. What do you guys think of if you've got a book that you would recommend to other third grade students here in California? Would you love to share that with me so that I can share it on air? If you write, maybe draw a picture or write a couple of sentences about the book, I'll share your book online and I'll even give you a little credit if you give me permission. You're going to see down below here the address for PBS and just mail it down here. You can put on there, attention Mrs. Nix, and I'll even see it. Do you see it right there? Yeah, it's right there. All right, awesome. I look forward to hearing about all the fun books that you've been reading that you would recommend to your third grade friends. So thanks for doing that. All right, so third grade, let's get started this morning. We're going to go through, we're going to look at our long O words, we're going to look at compound words, and we're going to look at multiple meaning words. Those are our three things we're going to do today. To help get us started and wake up those brains, first of all, I'm going to say we're going to look at our high frequency words. Those are those words that we see often in our writing, and we want to be able to use them in we see them often in our reading, and we want to use them in our writing. Okay, let's go through and let's read them. Here we go. Clean, cold, come, could, day, cut, did, different, do, and does. Okay, nicely done. Today we're going to work on these last two because it's Friday. And we've got do and does. Let's spell do. D-O. Nicely done. How about does? D-O-E-S. Okay, if you need to remember that you have to put that E-S at the end, not S-E, write that down so you can remember because you are responsible for your learning success. Okay, do and does. Let's look at a couple of sentences. Help me figure out which one am I going to use. All right, we've got she her hair before school. Or, I my hair before school. Would I say she do her hair before school? That's right, I don't. I'm going to say she does her hair before school. And when I'm talking about myself, I'm going to say I do my hair before school. Nicely done, third grade. Okay. We're going to go in and we're going to look at some long O words. And first, I want to remind myself that long O spelling sound. So I brought my boat card that's going to help me remind me that that long O says O, like at the beginning of over or in the middle of donate, because I need to be able to hear that sound. It's going to help me to be able to write that sound. So let's look at some different ways that we can spell it, and we're going to look at it inside of our words. So when I look at O by itself, I can see here, ooh, a big long word today, right? Program. Do you see the O all by itself? Program. Nicely done. How about OA? Can you find the OA? Here it is. So let's read it. Approach. Approach. Sometimes we need to approach things with some caution, right? Go slow. All right, how about O blank E? Do you see the O blank E? Here's the O, here's the E, and there's a consonant in between, so that's gonna say O. So let's read it. Envelope. Envelope. That's something that we put like a card inside, an envelope. Nicely done. How about O as in borrow? Borrow. Good job. And how about this very last one? It has the O-E spelling. Do you see it? Tip-toe. Can you stand on your tiptoes? Nicely done. All right, now let's look at some compound words. Now, compound words are two words that when we put them together make a new word. Now, sometimes, and this is going to be our first example right here, sometimes we don't actually just squish them together. This is far and off, and we wouldn't necessarily put it together like this and say far off. We actually have a little hyphen right here that comes into play so that we know that they still go together, far off. In the far off planet of Mars, we would use this little hyphen. If I have the words home, we're talking about our house, right? Our home, and sick, not feeling very well, well, I can put homesick, and homesick actually means that I'm not feeling well because I'm missing home. I'm homesick. I want to go home. All right, I've got these two words, news and paper. Well, the news, we know that that's something that we're learning about from the anchorman on TV. And then there's paper, and we all know paper, like this is an example of paper, but when I put newspaper together and make a new word, I know that the paper is telling me, I can read it, and it's going to tell me all about the news that's happening in our community. Then I've got day and light, but I can put it together and I can say it's daylight. It's meaning the sunshine is out. Then I've got these two words, down and town, and I put downtown together, and then I can talk about maybe downtown Fresno, right? And then play and ground. Well, these mean really different things. Think about the ground, that's something we walk on. But when I put playground together, I know that that's where I get to go outside and go and play, right? Awesome job. Okay, third grade. So today's Friday. I have a little bit of a story for us to read. This is using those long vowel sounds and those the long O vowel sound and some compound words and some multiple meaning words. So let's go through. This one's all about my mom, not my own mom, but that's the name of the story. My mom. Let's focus on practicing reading fluently and for comprehension. So join me. My mom. It is a cold day. The sun is low and it glows red. Mom is in a boat. She holds both oars. Do you want to go for a ride, she says. I go, but it is so cold. I have on 2 coats. I have on thick socks, and I still cannot feel my toes. My nose feels like it will break off and fall in my cocoa. Mom rows past the rocks. We watch as the sun rises up and up. Let's go for a swim, says Mom. She must be joking. But no, she pops out of her robe and dives over a side. Can you imagine that? Jumping into that ice cold water? Oh, I see her glide with big strokes. I float for a bit and then row over to pick her up. So did I ever get in the water? No, I didn't get in the water. It's too cold. She gets in the boat and shakes her shoulders like a dog. Then she throws on a poncho. Cold, she says. I hope you saved me some cocoa. Can you imagine, especially right now? I don't know about you, but it's pretty warm still outside, so it's hard to imagine what this was like. But think about sitting in that boat and watching your mom jumping into a river or a lake, into that cold, icy water. Oh, makes me shiver just thinking about it. Maybe there's something really fun that you and your mom, or maybe any adult that you live with, any of your grown-ups that you live with, and you'd want to write about something that you shared together, a time, a funny story like this. I'd love to hear about it. All right, my last thing we're going to finish up with today, because it is Friday, are those multiple meaning words. So multiple meaning words are those words that have more than one meaning. Now, homographs, we've talked about homographs a couple of times this week. So homographs, when you look at homo, means single, or by its, a single, and then graph means writing. So even though there's one spelling for a word, sometimes they mean more than one thing. Okay, here are examples. We've gone over them this week, but I want to just review them. We've talked about fall, fly, and spring, that each of them have multiple meanings. We know that a fly can be referring to something that's able to fly through the sky like Superman or a bird. We've talked about that fly can also be talking about that little tiny pesky bug that sometimes we're swatting away and we're getting a fly swatter. We've talked about that fall can talk about our season, like we're coming into our fall where we're going to see lots of pumpkins in the fall harvest season. But we've also talked about that fall means when you trip and you fall and you have an accident. And then finally, spring. Spring refers to that season where everything is growing and everything's turning green. And spring can also mean like to jump. So you can spring up, jump up. All right, but it's important to know what our words mean by using the context clues, the things that are around our words, to figure it out. All right, so here is a couple of sentences to finish us off today. So this particular word is address. Address actually is a multiple meaning word. So it could be a speech. We're addressing the crowd, okay? It could also be a location of a building. So thinking about the numbers that are on your building. It could be an apartment building, your office building, your home building, anything like that. But I don't know which address I'm talking about unless I look at my sentences. So let's look. The president will address the country tomorrow. Which one of these goes with address? That's right, it's a speech. So I'm going to put this little picture here so it reminds me that he's going to speak to our country. And then my final one is, when we moved, we got a new address. And so I'm going to put my little picture of my house right there. All right, third grade, I've had so much fun hanging out with you today and all week long. So thank you so much. As you're getting ready for school, remember, you're responsible for your learning. So ask questions, listen, and share your ideas. I look forward to seeing you back here next week on PBS. Have a great weekend and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.